Hey everybody, welcome to Kartele. My name is Mike, I'll be your host. This is Kartele Mobile Electronics. We're here in Waterbury, Connecticut. The shop has been here for 25 years and we've got a very good reputation in this area, and that's kind of important to me. So this is our first year submitting for top 50, so thank you for watching. This is a single location store. There used to be a franchise, there used to be 10 locations. This is the one that really stood out and the one that really lasted. That's on part to Rob, the old owner, and he just did a great job here, and we want to continue that. So it started off as strictly a cell phone store. They started getting into doing basic radios and alarm systems, and it's since morphed and changed to what it is today. And since I've taken over, I've made it just strictly a mobile electronics specialty shop. We don't do much else other than that. But what we do it right, and get it done the first time for the customers. And funny story is, I was actually looking through some of the old paperwork and some old photos and stuff, and it turns out a place I worked 15 years ago was a previous Kartele down in Norwalk there. So I thought that was pretty interesting that all this time later I now own the trademark and franchising rights to a store that I worked at eons ago. So I thought that was pretty funny. So again, welcome to Kartele. Thanks for checking out my submission, and let's take a tour. Our business philosophy here, it's pretty simple. We want every person that walks through the door to feel like we're here simply to work on their car and their car alone. Whether it's a 30-minute radio install or a car that's going to be in the bay for 3 weeks, we want them to know that each and every one of them are very important to us, and that's why we're here. And after the sale as well, whatever service you may need, whether it's a radio update or say like a remote needs to be repaired, whatever the case is, sometimes service after the fact is more important than getting the sale and getting the car into the door, and it shows. And and those are the reviews I like online too, when someone can say, listen, I had a problem, they fixed it, it was in and out, awesome. Like those are good. Those are some of my favorite reviews. I look at it like this. If something goes wrong with a piece of equipment on a vehicle, I want the person to feel comfortable buying from me again. Whether it's a fault of the equipment or a fault of my own, we want them to come back and feel comfortable shopping with us again. That's plain and simple. I mean, that's it, right? And our mission statement is really just that as well. Just the best customer service we can offer, a nice quality, clean installation, and just a professional and comforting atmosphere here. We want you to feel welcome. Come in and hang out. You're driving by, want to say hi? Come on in, say hi. So what makes us unique? Well, in this area, we have 12 different shops in just this city alone. What separates us from the rest is just that personal touch. I hear horror stories from all kinds of people coming in about how they're treated at other shops. Even by colleagues of ours, right down the street literally. So without trying to bash the shop or saying bad things about them, we just try to get across to the customer that they're not going to get treated like that here. I feel it's my job to ensure the person that, while they have their car with me And when they hand their keys to their vehicle over to me, I'm going to treat it like it's my own, and in many cases, even better. Um, that's really it. Um, Unfortunately, that's not the same everywhere you go, and we really try to separate ourselves in that way. It's my biggest challenge this year. My biggest challenge this year, and even over the past 2 years, I've been trying to find that way to balance time with my family and friends, and still be able to run a successful store here and a successful shop. My first year as an owner, I was so overwhelmed, and I know it put a ton of strain on my family and my friends, and a ton on myself too. And to the point where you're second guessing, like, what are you doing here? But it all comes together. And this past year, it was very important for me to kind of figure that out and find that balance, whether it was just letting calls go to voicemail instead of answering the phone at a picnic or what have you, or finding ways to include my family into some of the outings we do and certain things at the shop. I'll have my brother or my daughter come in, and they'll give a hand where they can, and it makes it a little better, and then they can get to see kind of how my day to day is and see how tough it actually is sometimes. But I know that in this past year, it was a lot less overwhelming now that I figured a couple things out, and you can tell it really showed in my work, and it showed in personal life, and I know my family was a little less stressed about it too. Why should we be a top 50 retailer? Well, I feel like to be a top 50 retailer, it shouldn't come down to the size of the shop or the annual revenue. I feel like it comes down to the professionalism and your approach with your customers, and just setting a standard that's above anything anybody else is doing, especially in your area. Those are your direct competition here. And our standards are very high here. There's no half-ass work leaving this shop. When it comes to customer service, I pride myself on that. Whether in this business or outside of the business, when I was doing landscaping, anything else, my customers had nothing but love for me, and I carried that into here. I've learned a lot over the past few years, and so I feel like that's what it really takes to be a top 50 retailer. All the reasons I mentioned earlier, the fact that from 2018 into this year, over 2017, we had $160,000 gross, and that was the best year ever put on the books by Kartele. So there was immediate growth once I had taken over. And from then until now, until the end of 18, we had over $250,000. That's a 60% growth in just 1 year. That's on par to some bigger ticket sales, going out and actually speaking, going hand to hand, shaking hands with local dealerships and just going and getting the work. We're part of the local chamber of commerce as well, so that helps. This year alone, we had 2 write-ups in the local magazine. We had a great article in the best practices in the best car audio magazine online. We had a fantastic three-page write-up in Mobile Electronics magazine, which was so great. But that was all in 1 year. Like that's amazing. Just to be able to say that most of that was stuff that I had done and I created that's fantastic. And like I said, we just have the best clients here. I've got people, they won't let anyone else touch their cars. They come to me for every tiny little thing. Again, it's a little nerve-wracking on a busy day, but I love it. It's great. And I love what I do. I love what we do here, and there's only better things to come. Yeah, I've got a lot of plans for this shop and where we want to go, and we're happy about where we are right now, and you know, I'm excited to see the future holds for Kartele and myself. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for considering us for top 50. I've got a few things I got to do in the back, so hopefully we'll see some of you guys in Dallas. Thank you.